When my wife and I were in London for a few days, we decided to visit Madame Tussauds. And of course, we rode on their signature London's Black Cabs ride. We saw a lot of different pop stars in person. There was Taylor Swift, and of course, Canadian legends Justin Bieber and Drake. We then visited their absolutely legendary Chamber of Horrors and concluded this experience by visiting their Star Wars exhibit. So I'm going to tell you all about it in this video, but before I do that...
This is day 4 of our adventures in London and had an absolutely horrible night of sleep because somebody, well, our neighbors, it seems like they were packing throughout the whole night. That didn't bother us until they started walking back and forth. They were walking like this. How can you walk using just your heels? How? Today is also going to be an interesting day, I forgot to mention that, because after our brunch we're going to, how do you even pronounce it? Madame Tussauds, to look at some wax figures, and then we have a theater, Stranger Things, play in the evening at 7 p.m. Alright, on our way to brunch now.
I just wanna have fun, clap my hands, turn around now and dance, dance, dance. I just wanna have fun, clap my hands, turn around now and dance, dance, dance. I just wanna have fun, clap my hands, turn around now and dance, dance, dance. I just wanna have fun, clap my hands, turn around now and dance, dance, dance. I just wanna clap, clap, turn around, dance, dance, dance. I just wanna clap, clap, turn around, dance, dance, dance. I just wanna clap, clap, turn around, dance, dance. I just wanna clap, clap, turn around, dance, dance. I just wanna have fun, turn around now, turn around now. I just wanna have fun, turn around now, turn around now. I just wanna turn around, dance, dance, dance. I just wanna
You're about to enter our star-studded awards party. Get ready to walk the red carpet at one of the most exclusive ceremonies of the year. It's showtime!
And after you get out from that elevator, you find yourself in the Awards Avenue, which is sort of an imitation of the red carpet. And here my wife is pretending to be annoyed by all of those paparazzi and flashes, but eventually you enter into this gala area with The Rock, Nicole Kidman, and Angelina Jolie. And for some reason, the first instinct is to see how tall all of these famous people are. Of course, we then saw Leo DiCaprio and a very, very controversial figure right now, Brad Pitt. But since we were in the UK, we absolutely had to see David Beckham and his wife, Victoria Beckham. But honestly, this next area with lights, camera, action was even better. Look how they showed different James Bond actors throughout many years. I think it's pretty cool. And of course I had to take a picture with the second best James Bond, Daniel Craig, because Pierce Brosnan is still number 1. Anyways, now it was time to descend into the public subway system of London.
I find it to be such a weird experience. It's just people and, well, figures of people. There's Winston Churchill. But it's such a weird experience. I don't know how to describe it. I guess it's just odd. Keep going more and more down.
But eventually, you get to this royal area, and there's the Queen Elizabeth II with the Prince Philip, and right across them are some other members of the royal family. Honestly, it was interesting to see how Princess Diana was still a part of this section, though she was just a little bit to the side. Anyways, here's my wife pretending to be a member of the Beatles, and I think judging by everybody's hair length, she could be a part of it, no problems. And here she is celebrating how she never got the tickets to Taylor Swift's Eras Tour concert. And once again, here's Justin Bieber, and absolutely tiny Ariana Grande, an amazing singer-songwriter Ed Sheeran, and once again, Drake. But our mood had to change, because we were about to experience something completely different.
Entering the chambers of horrors. How are you feeling?
Honestly, now, this experience, I don't know, it's kind of cool. Now I like it.
Now this experience started with John Christie, who murdered 8 people. And when he did, he hid their bodies either in the floors or in the walls of his own house. Talk about being an absolute psycho. And up next was John George Hay.
Look at this. Oh my god. Seems like this was also based on a true story. Are you feeling uneasy?
Jesus Christ. There's blood on the floor. And on the wall.
In today's news, police are searching for a London man who hasn't been seen for several weeks.
And of course, there was the most notorious London killer, Jack the Ripper.
The next thing I do, I'll clip the lady's ears off. I'll keep my word. I'll see you ripped up.
Wow.
Dear boss.
Seems like we're getting out of the horror experience, and this was really a cool experience. I'm not gonna lie. At first it started kind of lame, but the smells, the lights, the music, the sounds definitely made this very immersive.
And while it was immersive, we were a little bit creeped out, so we were ready to take a ride in one of these cabs.
This is so cool because by this time your feet get tired and it's nice to sit down.
To the spirit of London.
I feel like a kid.
I know. You kind of feel like at Disney World, no?
A little bit, yeah.
What this ride does is that it takes you through London's history. You start hundreds of years ago and you travel through different times. And while there were so many things happening around us, what I found to be the most fascinating aspect of it were the cabs themselves. Because we did not just go horizontally. We also went all the way down. Then we went all the way up. And sometimes they were so close to each other that I was thinking, how are we going to fit through here? But this whole ride maybe lasted 10 to 12 minutes, and after that, we were pretty much done.
We've arrived to our destination. Thank you so much.
Thank you, bye-bye.
Thank you. Wow. This was
So cool.
This was amazing.
And after this London cabs ride, we discovered this whole Star Wars exhibit. Unfortunately, my wife and I are not really huge fans. However,
if you're into Star Wars, then definitely visit Madame Tussauds in London because it's a crazy, incredibly weird and gigantic experience. It just keeps on going and going and going.
I had my stare down with Chewbacca, and actually back then, I didn't realize that Star Wars is actually the last section of Madame Tussauds in London. So it was time to exit.
So there's a gift shop at the end. We just exited the experience, so what would you say?
It was really cool.
Yeah.
Honestly, because from my previous experience in Orlando, it does not compare at all. It was just pretty much like the wax figures of people, and that's it. But nothing close to what we've experienced today.
Yeah, it definitely started a bit slow, and then with the whole scary experience, and then the moving taxis.
That was really cool. It was definitely something that you should do at least once.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I meant. You
Yeah.
do it at least once in your life.
And while I agree that this whole experience was incredibly exciting and you have to be here at least once in your lifetime, I felt that there was no climax to this whole story. You know how on a roller coaster you go all the way up and then down and there's this sense of accomplishment inside of you? I didn't quite feel it here. I don't know, it's difficult to describe, but there was something missing, at least for me. Anyways, it was time for us to move, because we still had to watch our Stranger Things play in a theater. And no surprise here, but it started absolutely pouring in London.
Just made a quick pit stop at our hotel to change clothes, and we are on our way to the Phoenix Theater to watch Stranger Things play. I think, is it a play? Yeah, just having some cappuccino beforehand, just not to fall asleep throughout this 3-hour show. We got some chocolate swirl and a raspberry tart from this Danish pastry place.
And when we got to Phoenix Theater, honestly, I thought that the weather perfectly encapsulated this whole Stranger Things mood. It was dark, it was raining, and we were so thrilled for this play.
Such a cute little theater. I think it was built back in 1930s. It definitely shows its age, but it's aging quite gracefully. I am pretty sure I will not be able to film inside, so I will see you in 3 hours.
Would you please take your seats? As this evening's performance of Stranger Things, the first shadow will begin in 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
This evening's performance of Stranger Things, the first shadow will begin in 3 minutes. May I please remind you that use of cameras and recording equipment is strictly prohibited. Please ensure that all mobile phones are switched off before entering the auditorium. Thank you.
We sat down, and 90 minutes later, we had this to say about the play. We're just at the halfway mark, so an hour and a half passed. It's difficult to describe with words how amazing the whole production is, and especially how talented the actors are. Young kids who are vocal and
Yeah, it's pure talent.
It's
and
just-
I don't know, the whole experience is. I'm
Yeah.
so glad we went, because I don't think this like comes kind of like worldwide.
Yeah.
I think it's only London thing.
something like this will only happen in London. If you're ever in London and able to catch
I think it runs until April.
until April, yeah, highly suggest to visit this show and watch it because
It takes on a little bit of a different approach. Think more about like Joyce and Hopper being like young and going through kind of the same experience that Eleven and her friends did.
I don't know how long the break is.
I don't think long.
Maybe 20 minutes,
Less, probably 15. I don't
15
know.
minutes.
Yeah.
And then there's going to be another hour and a half, and then the show is over. Did the theater make you fall in love with London?
Yeah, it was really nice.
Again, we couldn't record or film in there, but absolutely unbelievable. From the point of acting and production, sound and audio, like lighting, everything, absolutely incredible. And now we're just walking back. I don't even know where we're going, but enjoying this night in London.
Our last night.
Last night in London, basically until the next time.